Hello Aqua friends, welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole. So would you like to shorten your learning curve on learning how to paint in watercolor? Well, if you answered yes, then you need to subscribe to my channel. I literally post long form and shorts every week to help you in your watercolor journey. We are going to have fun along the way, so hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. So I'm very excited about this painting today, and I'm going to show you guys how I went about doing this. Basically, I painted it in 3 steps: the sky, the sea, and the foreground grasslands with the castle. This picture really reminds me of Ireland, and I'm very excited because I'll be visiting Ireland this summer. Okay, let's get right into this. So starting off with wetting the sky area, I am overlapping on the sea area because they're both going to be blues. I'm also overlapping on that castle, even though I am not going to be putting blue directly on there. I just want to make sure that it bleeds onto that area a little bit so there's no demarcation lines. Same with the sea. As you can see, I'm overlapping on the sea area. So I'm starting off with a beautiful sky blue. I'm using some cerulean or manganese blue. I'm not sure which one I had in my palette there, but any pretty sky blue that you like that's non-granulating will work. And I am basically negative painting around the clouds. As you can see with a big brush, doesn't have to be a flat brush, a round brush will work as well. And then I'm coming in with some indigo blue for the darker parts of the clouds. You can further soften things with a big fluffy brush, like I just did there. Now, when the clouds are closest to us, they're going to be larger. And then as they get off in the distance, they'll be smaller and smaller formations. And that gives us a sense of depth. So you do want to pay attention to the shape of the clouds and go ahead and put all of those in the sky. My paper is still wet. I'm going to have a soft transition from the sky to the sea, and I'm putting in a little bit of a darker colors here using some Peruvian blue. Okay, we're going to let that first layer dry. Coming in with our sea horizon and painting in that darker blue. If you squint at your reference photo, you'll see that the sea is darker than the sky. Once we let the sea dry, we're going to start on the castle ruins and the grass. So I'm using some umber, burnt umbers, sepia, and for the grass, I'm using sap green and some green gold. So my first layer on this grassy area and the castle ruins is just getting a base layer down. So there is a lighter green underneath and some very warm areas where I'm also adding burnt sienna. So just getting those in loosely, it doesn't look like much, but we'll continue to add in our values while it's still wet. Coming in with some neutral tints for the window and recessed areas. I am a messy painter there. I had to wipe the splatters off on my clouds. Now, if that didn't come off well, no big deal. I could have made those splatters into some birds. So there's always a way to fix things. So I'm getting that really jagged edges of the castle and making the ruins really pop against the sky. So there's some rocky shore areas that I'm getting in as well, starting off with a warm base layer and coming in with some darker tones. So back to the castle, I am just adding in a very watery mixture, putting in some textures of bricks and the darker areas in the recessed parts of the ruins, as well as the castle windows. You could also use your finger for texture to smear some areas. Now there's some mossy areas growing on the castle, so I'm popping in a little bit of my sap green there as well. Now as far as the textures of the grasses, I'm going to start to put that in, re-wetting that foreground grass areas and adding in some darker sap greens over my lighter greens. So that's all bleeding together very beautifully. Using a script liner brush, I'm pulling out some individual grass blades, adding some texture, and you're just going to do that along the whole bottom of your painting where all the grasslands are. Adding a darker shade underneath the rocks that are by the shore for some depth. Now I'm giving my grasslands another little spritz here because I wanted to add in some of those other colors that I'm seeing. So I'm using a variety of the browns and greens and just adding in a lot of grass blade textures. And that's it for the foreground. It's a very simple painting. Now, as you can see, what I did here, this is actually not a watercolor block. I just used a pad and I taped it down on all four sides to act like a block. It's much cheaper than buying watercolor blocks. And I am using the Nicole collection series. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you enjoyed the painting process with me, then give me a thumbs up and hit that like button. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next week.